How's it going, everybody? It's Matt Tomorrow here. Thank you for like, sharing, comment, and subscribing to my channel. People, please press a one in the chat if you could be able to hear me audibly, so that way we can go through this very easy but simple thing that we have to discuss tonight. All right. So you have to realize that this is ultimately why I joined this space in the first place. I joined this space to create division. I joined this place to split sides. I joined this space to make sure that nigga and non-nigga alike would never be part of the same team. Ever be part of the same team. Because at the end of the day, these people have nothing to offer. If the world could have been saved by political trolling and actual street dudes, it would have been done during the last generation, not this one. The dudes who was born in the 50s, who came to the power in the 70s, who celebrated their heyday in the 90s, who's actually now here online pretending like they're the man on campus in their 50s. If that was the actual path that we was going to create a better black America, then it would have happened already. It would have happened already. I think I'm the only person within this space who actually lived under conservatism, left conservatism, went to the military, did other things, and decided to move to an area to which was great for me overall. This is why I have such a problem with the new conservatives of today who don't have a track record of being conservative at all, who only track record of conservatism is when a criminal went into actual power, trolling his way through debates and actually trying to win over the people who he had no intentions on helping. This is no different than the Angryman situation. Ask yourself, what older black man in this space actually upholds the actual value system that black men need to be at moving forward within this fucking space? Is it me or is it him? Because if it's him, you're in the wrong fucking space and you're in the wrong fucking place. I'm not no fucking entertainer. I did not come to this fucking space so that way I can do business or actual things with people who are not fucking serious about moving forward. This is one thing I don't want you to do. I don't want you talking shit about this dude in my fucking chat. I don't want you to unsubscribe from his fucking channel. I want you to stay subscribed. I don't want you to even pick between me and him. I don't want you to do that. I want you to stay subscribed. Actually, I want you to actually become a subscriber of his channel. So that way you can see how Black America is going to go forward from here on out. I am a non-nigga supporter. Always have been, always will be. I don't give a fuck about your jailhouse scholarship or how many fucking books that you read. If you're around niggas after you done read all that shit, then you missed the whole fucking point of everything that I just said and done within this goddamn space. But one thing you cannot judge is trajectory. I saw most of the Mississippi mudflap bullshit, but let me tell you something. I left Mississippi when I was 17 fucking years old. Graduation night, I jumped on the first thing smoking to get the fuck out of Mississippi. That's right, I went to the goddamn United States Air Force, all the way to motherfucking, went to Jackson with the MEPS out there, not far from where Sister George stays at. and spent a couple weeks there before I actually went to San Antonio, Texas, for my actual basic training in the Air Force. It was 6 weeks. After the 6 weeks of basic training, the actual police academy, because I was a military police officer, I went to another 6 to 9 weeks of training on the same base. But they sent us to several different installations in the same area. And I'm not gonna lie, I made a mistake by doing that. Because I went ninth, 11th, 12th. I didn't have a 10th grade year. So after I failed the first year in ninth grade, thanks to my dad dying and trying to take care of my grandfather and doing all types of other stuff, I had to win out. Every single class I had to pass every single one of them in order to graduate on time. So that way I could leave the city when I actually need to leave the city. When you actually fall a grade behind, you see the actual people who you end up with and the people who you're no longer around because you failed a grade. There was nothing wrong with the path that I took, but I had to very early turn the wheels on and be able to go to the next level. And even though my grandfather was disabled, his wisdom was far, far among disability. But also I had help from track coaches, football coaches, basketball coaches. All those people actually helped me along the way too. So when I went to the next stage of things at 17 years old, I got around a new group of people who I thought had my best interests at heart. It's no different than the people who you run into within the black space of YouTube. You at one specific sort of place in life, and then you end up at another place in life once you're around different people. I think maybe 5, 6, or maybe even 7 years ago, that's how I ran into his channel. And he's actually the primary reason why I do have a channel. I would never take that from him or Mr. Jack. I started off as a caller into their show. And between meeting these two individuals, I ran into Obsidian and then O'Shea. Or maybe I ran into O'Shea before. So you have to understand that a lot of this stuff is about trajectory. I never told people what I did for a living. I never told people how much money I made. I never told people anything because I knew they couldn't measure up or my story didn't make any sense. And I knew that up front. So you have to realize that once I went through those circumstances and situations, I had to realize that when I first went to my first base, I ran into a chief master sergeant. He was from the actual Vietnam era, to be quite honest with you. But he didn't look that much older than anybody else there. This guy taught me some of the greatest lessons that I could ever learn being in the military. I don't think I've ever seen that guy beyond the first year that I was there. This guy told me to not make this a career. Asked me where I come from. I come from this place. What are you doing here? How old are you? 17? Oh, you must have wanted to leave pretty bad. This is why I knew I fucked up at. That chief master sergeant told me that how come you didn't wait a couple months later to actually get into the shit you actually wanted to do? So I told him I just wanted to make sure that I left on time. I wanted to leave graduation night. He was like, look around. When you was in basic training, you didn't know the actual training protocol of anybody within that unit. You could have left the same night and went to what you actually wanted to do. And this is probably one of the worst areas that you could possibly be in, being here, surrounded by these people. These people are not going to let you get out of the situation that you're in. So I'm like, so you mean to tell me that I left a situation that I wanted to get out of to eventually get into another situation that I would eventually want out of? And he said, yes. I give you less than a year and you're going to know that you're in the wrong spot. I didn't believe him. The fuck this dude know? E9, been here since the 70s, and this is 1996. He got to be fucking lying. Because I was told by my quote unquote recruiter that I can cross train into something else just so long as I did this job right. And he was like, recruiters lie all the time. They was there to get you here. And now that you are here, whatever you planned on doing, you're going to be 4 or 5 years behind the moment you decide to get out of service. So I'm like, damn, this is not what I wanted to do. I couldn't stand law enforcement. And that guy was not wrong. I got out after my first enlistment, and it took exactly the amount of time he said to get my life straight. I got out of the military, worked for Whacking Hut a couple years, didn't like it. Went to federal law enforcement. I was actually in federal law enforcement. Before that, I was working at Whacking Hut part time. Went full time, didn't like it. Got hooked up with a guy who was doing future recovery for a while. Didn't like that either. Same conversation came back. Same conversation from 5 years before. By entering this field, you already put yourself magnitudes years back because you didn't have a trajectory to where you wanted to go. And you wanted to leave so bad that you actually wanted to put yourself even further behind to make it look like you made a little bit of success. And that guy was not wrong. Then I had to have that very hard conversation with myself, trying to rationalize it. Why am I policing and patrolling and being around people that I don't like? Why did I do this to myself? And there was an obvious answer because I didn't think things through. I thought that by getting myself in what I thought was a better situation was far more important than the place that I left. So at this point in time, I went from Germany to Colorado. Got in Colorado a year early because of the time I served in other places. So I had to go for a short tour in Korea when I was technically still stationed in Colorado. And I served out the rest of my time and I got out. And I didn't know that through then during the TAPS training, the transitional assistance program before you actually get out of the military, Dad, the only chance that I had was law enforcement going forward, even though that wasn't my actual path. And that's when I noticed that I had to step it up. 22, 23 at the time, went overseas when I was 17, came back to the States, wasn't even able to legally buy alcohol, even though I clearly did so for a couple years because I was in Germany. They don't card over there. And I didn't like that time. Did not like where I was. But I had to have the hard conversation. How do I get more out of this? And that's when I started to find the correct answer. Because I started asking the right questions. Went to a couple of schools, got me some actual skills and ability that I can use. Started moving up in different jobs. Started off as a tester, went all the way to a project manager. Took a while because, see, I didn't really change job. I just stayed at the same job, moving through the ranks and whatsoever. When I could have been making far more money if I went to another place. I was poisoned by the military experience of actually wanting to be competent at one thing before I moved to another. But I'm actually glad that I had that actual foundation, that I couldn't just glad hand my way through things. I couldn't lie on my way through things. I actually had to be qualified and competent on things before I moved forward. And after the future recovery thing, worked my way through a bachelor's degree. Started with a very good company, had a very good position. Moved my way through that just as easily. Became a project manager, and then all of a sudden I was in a position that I wasn't prepared for. The position that I wasn't prepared for, that it made me question everything that I was a part of, because once I became a project manager, I assumed that everybody in the same circumstances put the same time in that I did to get here. Turns out I was 100% wrong. A lot of people knew somebody and all this kind of other stuff. I'm like, why did I spend my time being competent at things? Because I actually cared about outcomes when it came to certain things. Eric Bird, thanks for the $5 super chat. Got love AM based one contribution. All right, man. We're not gonna be talking stuff about that guy tonight. But again, I left Mississippi in '96. All this stuff I'm going through in the Denver metro area. So I kept going to school, had some friends who were African, saw things that I did not see growing up. I did not see grandfathers, fathers, and actual children living in the same house. I seen a level of brotherhood that I haven't seen since I left home. And me and all those 13 guys actually still went to school at the same time, and we all graduated on time. Introduced some of those people to people who I was in the military with. A couple went to the FBI. A couple actually made it into the Pentagon. One or two even made it into the agency. But once we all start sharing our stories, everybody was in the same position. They was looking for a new identity from the place that they left. Went through the project management thing, didn't like that. Mother got sick, had to take care of her, lost all my stuff, clubs and everything else. But it was one of the greatest things that happened because I was responsible for a hell of a lot more than I wanted to be a part of. So then after that, talked to one of my brothers, and he was like, "Well, maybe you ought to do this." I'm like, "Man, I only bail you out of these situations when you actually need it. I'm actually far more motivated than you because I don't have any children per se, but I don't want to do this full time." You had arguments. Show me a picture of my father in one of these trucks. I'm like, "Man, I don't want to do that." But then he said, "What if you had to, and you felt more freedom behind this wheel than you ever did in the office?" Because that's how I got here. He was a mechanic, really good one, even though he had a CDL. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try it out for a while, see how it goes. Got in the truck, was able to be far more educated than I ever could by being in a stationary place. I actually love the system of learning. I actually love being responsible for the outcome. But at the end of the day, I knew that that wasn't it because this job was too easy. I couldn't put on a resume that I had an MBA halfway through a doctorate. Nobody would even hire me for this job for driving. That's one of the things you learn in the South that you don't put all what you are on a resume. They can actually stop you from actually getting a job. And that was 100% right. So, working for this company and, I wanted to actually learn more about the industry because this stuff wasn't in books. The stuff that they were doing wasn't anywhere to be found. And then, I found a decent guy who was actually an Army veteran. And then he started telling me and showing me how these things work. I think like 2 years in, I ended up doing something extremely stupid, like jumping off the back of a trailer onto the ground and I end up breaking my leg. They were trying to do everything they could to get me to take short term disability, but I actually still wanted to work. And I knew that this was my opportunity to be near people who was in the actual office. So that way I could learn how the industry worked while I was so called healing my leg. I got all the information that I wanted to out of building a reputation for being there where people actually needed me. And once I became injured, I was able to do everybody's job within the actual office. Thanks for the $2 super sticker, Jackson March. So once I realized that all of this information put together, it takes a hell of a lot less to run than actual an IT project management position. I decided that I was going to work for another owner operator. Because what owner operators like more than anything else in the world is a guy with a clean and clear record with no tickets or accident. So I worked for him, learned even more information. But then after I learned so much, I'm like, why am I doing this? So I put in my 2 weeks notice to actually leave to go to another company. And the way that the actual pay structure was actually set up, is that you was paid once a month at this actual company. So what I should have done was took my last check and walked off. But see, I was so trapped into following a specific system, and that specific system ended up getting me screwed over. So I lost about $6,000 that I was going to put down payment on a truck. Now, at that point, I couldn't even make it to next month's rent. So I had to take a lease op position and use the actual advances from the lease op position to pay my actual rent going forward because I was waiting to be compensated for the actual people who screwed me over for $6,000. But see, what you don't understand is once you start taking people to court in certain states, when it comes to them owing you a lot of money, the only thing that they're going to reimburse you with is actual minimum wage for the actual hours and time that you work. So the person ended up owing me $6,000 to only paying me about 8 or 9 hundred because it went from what the actual expertise was versus what I was actually legally owed as a 1099 employee. And that made me so fucking mad that I created my own company. I paid people far more than they would ever be paid with anywhere else. And the only thing that I fucking required is that you showed the fuck up when it was time for your ass to fucking work. I didn't give a fuck about nothing else. No bitches, no nothing. I knew I paid so much more than any other motherfucker because I kept track of it. Saved my money for a couple years, bought a fleet, teamed up with somebody who had the fucking military game on lock when it came to come, and that's where I'm at now. So to say that everything happened to me because I'm from Mississippi is completely fucking wrong. I left Mississippi at 17. I didn't go back to Mississippi until I turned 36. I didn't go to my 5 year reunion, 10 year reunion, 15-year reunion. But by the time I was on my fucking feet when it came to the 20-year fucking reunion in 2017, I stepped foot back in that fucking circumstance that I fucking left. And the only reason why that I was there is because there was a punk ass piece of shit street nigga who took up funds for people in the goddamn class reunion, and this motherfucker ended up pocketing all the fucking money. So I went down there and I told these motherfuckers that we're gonna make this shit happen, even if I have to reimburse everybody their fucking money. It wasn't a lot of money, but at the end of the day, a couple grand to a nigga is everything in the fucking world. So I went there 19 years later, left at 17, came back at 36. My grandfather always said, don't bring your motherfucking ass back to this city unless you can leave under the power to which you brought your motherfucking ass here. That's why it took me so long to go back. Because I knew every motherfucker who went back to that city after they failed out of the military, they dropped out of a job, they dropped out of school, every motherfucker who ended up back there were fucking stuck there. And while I was there, driving around town, seeing all these places in the old hood, projects on sale, you know what happened there. Shut them bitches down. Bring these motherfuckers up out of here. Go put them somewhere else. Let's protect the older generation. Motherfuckers who actually seen some shit. Let's protect those people. To be quite honest, most of them were women. But they were some of the best women I ever fucking met. It's probably about three older men, but a hell of a lot of women that I go back and see when I go back. Now they own all that shit, no matter what they fucking own, for the most part. But then again, once you start making sure people are straight and tight, then nothing ass nigga kids start to roll into the situation and try to prey on good fucking people to take care of their baseline responsibilities. And that's how it was. Years went on. People died down there over predictable shit. Ain't shit kids, having people coming through, robbing motherfuckers, all that kind of stupid shit. It just started all to happen all over again. Some actual idea of being back in the so-called community, it's a 5 year thing, 5 or 6 year thing. This year, 21, be the 25th reunion. Gonna have a reunion sometime this summer. I left this fucking city because there was nothing there for me there. There was nothing for me in that city. The whole state was conservative ran. So if there's anybody in this fucking space who know the depths and the level of fucking conservatism, it's me. I know what it meant to be down there, to live under those circumstances, to not have any opportunity. That's why I fucking left. I left because my grandfather told me to leave after my father had fucking died. He told me to get the fuck out of there. There's nothing else for you here. He was maxed out there in the fucking 70s. I guess you could say the military could have been luck, but everything once I got out, that shit wasn't luck at all. I had to work my way through all that shit. All that shit I had to work through. Because once I got out of the military, I started making a lot of bad fucking mistakes. Because remember, you're in a situation where you're forced to work with everybody, no matter what they bring to the fucking table. And I brought this bullshit into business after business after business that I was good at running, but I had this team mentality bullshit going on inside my head where I could have easily cut motherfuckers the fuck off. And it took me 5 or 6 goddamn times to realize I need to be doing this shit myself. I need to be learning everything about this process and doing it myself. I didn't need no motherfucking people there trying to quote unquote help me with shit when they was trying to help themselves with my shit. Yeah, on the limousine company. Had about 5 limousines going through places, picking up at the airport, bringing them to the top end hotels downtown. I let some bullshit street nigga be a part of the goddamn deal. He decided to be running drugs out the fucking cars, bringing hoes in the fucking, just all types of stupid shit that had nothing to do with the goddamn business. But at the end of the fucking day, he wanted more than the fucking situation would handle. And that shit was my fucking fault. for letting somebody who didn't give a fuck about the primary mission be a part of the business. Yeah, I seen what it was. I seen when the motherfucker got caught. I seen when he got locked up for 25 strong. Motherfucker looked at me and was like, what the fuck did you expect? Of course I was gonna try to put myself on and try to do a hell of a lot more than for myself than you would fucking allow. Motherfucker had no remorse. But that shit was my fucking fault. That shit was my fucking fault. I let that shit happen. So let's fast forward when I actually got into an actual argument with Angryman on BGS's panel. Probably about, I'm gonna say it's 2018 June, maybe not. No, it was 2018 when they didn't know what the fuck I actually made, what the fuck I actually did. And they was doing their normal shit that they now do on Bernard Riley's panel, but they was doing it on BGS panel back then, where a dude, if he had his shit together, if he wasn't a fucking street dude, a whole bunch of motherfuckers would jump in and try to fucking shame you out of shit. And I had the motherfucker turn up on niggas like, dude, I got my shit together and I don't fuck with motherfuckers like this on the outside. A lot of motherfuckers didn't like what I had to say because I already had been through it for 5 or 6 years at that point. I dealt with these motherfuckers up front. I know what these motherfuckers think up front. If you still with that street bullshit, then a bitch is your fucking end goal. End this fucking story. And just like a bitch when cornered, you're gonna try to create more circumstances for yourself that you need to actually benefit off of it more than the actual group goal. And don't give a fuck about who gets hurt or injured just so long as you get yours. But see, they didn't recognize that I was raised by strong men who didn't give a fuck about what niggas thought. I didn't give a fuck about what niggas thought. That's what the fuck happened. I had experience from it. You can't all of a sudden assume that people who don't have experience actually do have it. They actually think that they're just going to wait on somebody to put them on. That was a conversation in the back chat after this shit was over. And I took the individual's advice. Maybe you need to give these people a chance. And I took Angry Man's advice. And I still today have two of the best fucking employees that I've ever fucking had in my fucking entire life after following this fucking advice. And then I had like fucking 40 motherfuckers who I could never trust thanks on having those two good situations come to pass. Right. So what I'm saying, everything here, I want to be competent at what I did. I want to be responsible for what I did. I wanted to make sure that the outcome was fucking good. Because if I just hired anybody on in those circumstances, I could have fucked my whole shit up. And I did. Lost $1 million contracts for motherfuckers stealing shit off military installations. I can't even get a fucking contract with the Navy right now, thanks to some shit that happened 7 fucking years ago. Because these people are actually looking for reasons to not give you a fucking contract versus fucking give you one. What the fuck you think the track record is about? The first thing they're gonna try to do is find a way to fucking disqualify you. And the quickest way you can disqualify you is you give the wrong motherfuckers the right type of chances. This is what happened. This is how I got here. This is why I think the way I think. I got fucking experience. That's why I think the way I fucking think. I got experience with this shit. This shit is not theoretical. If the world could be saved by fucking trolling and ranking on niggas, there would be no fucking reason to have this conversation. And these niggas have jobs within this space, it's because of fucking feminism. That's why these niggas got jobs talking to misguided fucking children and whack ass fucking niggas in this space because of feminism. They want to pretend like they were the bitch's choice. No, the bitch chose you because you was a dumbass nigga controlled by your fucking dick to the point to where you would get a little bit of pussy and try to hold it over another man's fucking head. This is what happened. The Pookie and Ray Ray shit versus the educated lame shit, it came from that nigga. Not knowing that he had niggas who was doing way better than him in the actual circumstance and the actual environment that did not need to bring niggas along to actually win. I fucking won. Without niggas, I fucking won. But every time I tried to bring these bullshit niggas in, they did the same motherfucking thing every fucking time. It's no different than what you see in Black YouTube. The reason why there's a hell of a lot more men in fucking disregard than there are men getting their shit together. This is why we can't do shit on politics. Niggas are so stuck in the goddamn phase of worrying about what feminism's doing, what the LGBT is doing, and what the motherfucker everybody else is doing except for building your own power. I'm around other people, that shit never comes up, ever comes up. Why? They're working on their own shit. Nobody is worrying about citing abortion rates. Guess what? Stop fucking with them. This should have been a plan in the fucking 70s. My grandfather told me so. You know what? If these motherfuckers don't want to fucking deal with this goddamn shit, they don't want no fucking decent fucking dudes, don't rescue their motherfucking ass once that ass runs out. He was very clear about not picking up motherfuckers after the ass that ran out. That's the point we are at today, right now. Dudes are talking to women when the ass that ran out, trying to set your motherfucking ass up to fucking dealing with these fucking women that you don't need to be fucking with. That's the deal. He didn't want me making those fucking mistakes. He was like, look, here's the fucking owner's manual to this shit. What person is giving you the owner's manual to dodging the outcome of this fucking bitch and this bullshit nigga within this fucking environment? Where are these niggas? Where the fuck are they? You can't give a nigga enough pain than reality that they have not fucking adjusted to. You're trying to sit here to make sure a motherfucker get his or hers within the fucking environment. You ain't got no time for that shit. You need to be getting your own shit together and leaving this shit the fuck alone. This is why at the end of the fucking month, because we caught the shit at a good time, we gonna start running up the score on these niggas I'm talking about we gonna make the scoreboard get tired on these niggas. I'm going to show you that these niggas are not serious about moving forward. Still talking about all this bullshit rather than they own power. Don't even have a party picked out. Haven't even met with the party. Haven't even redressed with the fucking party, but got the nerve to be asking about reparations. What the fuck is this? You got people who are smart enough to know that they're dealing with dumb motherfuckers in this goddamn space who's trying to make it look like they're friends with street people in the same environment. What the fuck is this? The Republican Party is in shambles. They need a new group of people to take over that fucking party. I've already staked my claim where I'm at. Shit's already working in the area that I'm fucking in. And if you want to think about what the fucking black conservatives think in the Denver metro area, they're not fucking existing. Nobody takes them seriously. And that's in the Denver metro area. They're definitely not taken seriously out there in motherfucking Grand Junction alignment or Delta, Colorado. Nobody gives a fuck about what black conservatives think out there. That's the fucking point. This shit is not hard. History is very fucking certain. And I can guarantee you, with the own motherfucking state, it has not changed. It definitely haven't changed in Mississippi. You think I don't know who the fuck Jefferson Davis is? You think I don't know when the parties fucking changed? You think I don't fucking know that? I'm from the fucking area. If there's an expert on the fucking situation, it's me. And the situation is still hella fucked up because of the simple fact that we still got conservatives running the goddamn state. But you have to understand why they want all these other failed niggas in here. All these other failed niggas in here make them be able to run their game a hell of a lot better on these motherfuckers around here. Because all these bitch ass niggas are here for the same purpose. Let the woman run the environment. Let her pick the fucking man. But you got a fucking choice to leave this shit the motherfuck alone. You know you done lost when you're ranking on the nigga about wearing suits. Where your fucking suits at? Your suit is a whole suit. The way you pull up on a bitch, she knows she gonna get the maximum amount out of your bitch ass as soon as you walk up. She knows that. This is what I'm talking about when in the fucking environment. But some fucking reason we got to sit here and let bitch ass niggas run our fucking race into the fucking ground and let these niggas turn around 20 or 30 years fucking later and pretend like they gonna be the reverse flash of this motherfucker trying to save everybody. You overwatched this shit happening to the fucking race. You overwatched the cultural fucking genocide. You overwatched the fucking shit. You overwatched the goddamn shit of pimps and hustlers and drug dealers taking over the fucking environment versus the people who could have motherfucking fixed this shit. And you actually fucking thought that you could depend on an unfeminine fucking woman as the actual means and the ramifications that you get away with this shit? You gotta be out of your goddamn fucking mind. This is why I don't fuck with these people in this goddamn space. You niggas have been socialized into not taking a fucking position. I have been socialized into taking a fucking position. I'm always gonna be on the right side of this motherfucking shit. And I don't need the fucking opinions of a bitch or a bitch ass nigga to fucking tell me what the fuck I think is right or wrong. It's my fucking choice. Like your choice is to feed yourself into these hoes, it's my choice to stay the fuck away from these hoes. and find somebody the fuck else to deal with. And then they try to act like it's some type of speciation fucking argument that you don't want to deal with the worst motherfuckers on the planet with no track record of fucking around with people who got their shit together. What the fuck I look like dealing with a system like this? I'd rather us go down to the point of the fucking number of the goddamn Japanese in America before I let these niggas win. Fuck them. They had their fucking chance. They lost. Look around. The whole community is based on fucking game and a woman's outcome of her process not being fucking checked. This is where we are, folks. We have an over proliferation of bitch ass niggas in this goddamn space. Took over after the initial work done by people who actually cared about the outcome of black men to let all these hoes back up in here, riching them up on fucking channels. I don't have any love for any hoe who will show up to these goddamn conversations. Fuck you, fuck your kids, fuck fucking raising or mentoring these motherfucking slut fucking bags. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Not my fucking responsibility. You feel responsible? Clear your own fucking name, nigga. I'm not responsible for this shit. I'm happy not to have any responsibility. I'm happy for that shit. Happy as fuck. Dude, I don't think I can live with myself putting these people through this goddamn outcome that we fucking witnessing. I don't think I can live with myself doing that. You have no fucking idea how much trouble you motherfuckers would be in if I had my fucking way for a couple of fucking hours. No idea. Grown ass men sitting around 50 years old, being a 50-year-old fuck nigga, claiming that they got game in any environment that a woman is actually hitting their ass over the head with. So much game, but you can't take your motherfucking ass to the family court office to charm no motherfucking judge. But you out here trying to motherfucking sit out in this fucking bitch, trying to claim like you winning. You ain't winning. I keep telling you people, man, there ain't nothing wrong with the manosphere. There's a lot of motherfuckers who've attached themselves to the manosphere who wanted to rot the fucking apple from the inside out. There's a lot of stepdaddy ass niggas out here who don't want to hear us do the actual thing of wanting the actual youth for the shit that they shouldn't be a part of. There's nothing wrong with the manosphere. Nothing wrong with it at all. Failures have got access to the manosphere. That's what happened. That's what fucking happened here. They destroyed this shit because they did not want to see you, a man, make better decisions than they did. That's why they destroyed it. This is why they want the women to fucking run it. And I don't disagree with the way women think about this shit. These dudes are too easy. They are too fucking easy to get dick out of. It's too easy. Doesn't even matter how you look. Most of these dudes, baby mama, look far worse than average at best. But they want to be claimed that they are the actual dude who was the pick of the women back in the past. Stupid shit. And these are the motherfuckers who we just watch just go on to be a part of conservatism right before the fucking election, the summer before, without even caring about policy. They thought Donald Trump was going to get their bitch in line for them. That he was going to create the circumstances so bad that these women were going to run back to the table for faulty ass, fake ass dudes that they never gave a fuck about. You're wrong. They called your fucking bluff. I can see them calling your bluff every fucking day. It takes a real man to actually leave faulty bullshit the fuck alone altogether. Don't let these compromised men in the manosphere who have retired early, by the way, try to tell you how to get the fuck off the field. So from this point forward, we're gonna start checking these niggas at the end of the month. I want to see what the fuck you've actually organized. And we're not talking about conservative who are actually conservative outside of this bullshit. I'm talking about these street hood conservative, the dudes who actually went into the Capitol building who's about to be locked up in a couple weeks. I'm talking about them motherfuckers. I want to know what the fuck you done to move this shit forward on the conservative tip. I'm not talking about living in a blue state, claiming to be this red guy who. No, 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 no. I want you to talk about actual history of the actual party that you're part of, actual the way that this shit's actually going to move forward. I want to talk about shit that's true and shit that's false. I actually want to move black men forward. That's why the fuck I came here. That's why I named myself Man of Fucking Tomorrow. Because after you get through talking about feminism, LGBT, and the fucking abortion rate, you still got to do something tomorrow. And don't tell me that doing something tomorrow is being celebrated by the simple fact that you're being chosen by the same women that you claim you don't fucking want. I don't want to hear that shit. Yes, to bring the niggas back, the women back to negotiate, that dude's your enemy. They always said if you ever rob a bank, if somebody asks you to renegotiate the take, don't take your ass to that fucking meeting because you'll never end up making it out of it. I'm the only conservative in this fucking space, especially when it comes to these bullshit content creators. I'm not talking about the new dudes. I'm talking about the older ones. And this is why it made me so fucking mad listening to these motherfuckers try to claim conservatism with no track record, no historical perspective. It was fucking insane. I'm a dude with a white suit on. I'm not gonna go out there and wrestle with fucking pigs in the goddamn mud. I'm gonna stay my motherfucking ass up here and I'm gonna have the conversation that needs to be fucking had. Because the conversation is very fucking easy. It's not hard. And they're proud to have conversation with fair fucking women. I've never heard of a man actually want to have a conversation with fair fucking women. That's some hoe shit. Again, I'm not asking you to choose fucking sides. It's important to have fucking distinctions. I'm not gonna go over to his channel and block motherfuckers from coming over here. I'm not doing that shit. I don't give a fuck about that. I give a fuck about outcomes for black men, black boys. That's what the fuck I give a fuck about, right? And the best way to have better outcomes is to leave these crazy ass motherfuckers the fuck alone. It's time for these motherfuckers to go on a dick free diet. a black dick free diet. You leave the motherfuckers for the bitch ass niggas who's gonna go out there and help these motherfuckers fuck their own shit up. You don't fucking come up behind that shit and play cleanup man on some say the community shit. You're a goddamn fool. But within the black society, they depend on a lot of fools to care more about the actual community than they do. I'm saying don't sell yourself short. Out of 162 people, it can't just be 7 dislikes. It got to be more than that out there. More than that. Has to be more than that. Give me more of these dislikes from these bitch ass niggas. Just seven? I think Black America is full of 95% bitch ass niggas. 95%. I don't think it's just seven. I think it's fucking 150 out of 164 niggas here. I'm not a Mississippi mudflap. I would have been a Mississippi mudflap if I took my ass back down there after I fucking got out of the military and ended up fucking my shit up. Yeah, you would have been 100% right to clown the shit out of a dude if I went back down there after I learned everything that I fucking learned and I end back up in the same place that I fucking left. Dude, you are well to your fucking right to clown the shit out of your boy. You've been well in your fucking rights. But the world can't be saved through fucking trolling and all this other shit. These people need major fucking help. And the reason why I'm mad at your motherfucking ass is because I know you're a better person deep down. I don't give a fuck what you think. Wouldn't have tuned into your fucking channel if I didn't think you was a better person. I just don't like this shit. All right, man, let me get up out of here because I don't want to drop the link and people think that there's some type of dissension between the ranks. I don't want to do that type of shit. So I want to thank you guys for coming through. I'm the man tomorrow. Like, comment, and continue to share and subscribe. You guys have a really nice day. You want to take things to the next level? Go to the Patreon, patreon.com/man tomorrow. We're doing great things over there. And it's a space about male improvement, not this other shit we talk about on YouTube. You guys have a really nice day. Well, I got to lean left. If we ain't got people on the right who's gonna fucking do what the fuck they need to, then I guess I gotta throw my conservatism a certain type of way, man. That's it. Later.